All right, guys, we're lucky enough to be joined by EJ Morland, who is the lead designer on APB now. Now, EJ, tell us about the game. It's looking great, but tell us what you're showing off at Cologne this year.
So we're specifically showing off at Cologne, we're showing the Enforcer side of gameplay. We've spent a lot of time in our movies and our different videos we've shown before about the criminal side and how sexy it is. So we wanted to show that the Enforcers are just as sexy and just as interesting. As well, this is our first live action demo. So this is all about the action all the time. What we're hoping is the game speaks for itself. We don't really have a long presentation. It's purely just watching the game and answering questions.
So tell us about how the demo pans out. You know, you take a mission and then it all goes from there, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we have 4 enforcers that we have built up as our little squad. They go out and get into the world and just get into a bunch of trouble. We have up to about 20 criminals, I think, that are running around, and they get matched between anywhere from about 3 to about 8 of those at any given time.
Tell us a bit about the customization. We saw a little bit of it. I believe there are 30 vehicles in the game that you can then, put decals on and everything.
Right. So we have about 30 vehicle chassis. Of those, about 10 are pretty heavily physically customizable. 3 are extremely customizable, and then the rest you can definitely still paint and put symbols on. But the rest you can actually modify the body as well.
And so what are the main differences, say, if you choose to be an enforcer rather than a criminal?
So certainly it's in play style. The enforcer is all about protecting the city. Their missions are much more directed, much more opposed right off the bat. The criminals can choose to be very outrageous, very loud, very notorious, or they can be inconspicuous and stay behind the scenes.
And tell us, we saw some of the missions, like you've got to steal briefcases, run around with those. What are people actually going to be doing when they're on the mission?
Well, besides shooting the opponents, the primary thing is either they're interacting with something, they're picking something up, they're delivering it, they're escorting people, they're protecting civilians, protecting sites, or even capturing territory.
So basically, if you're an enforcer and you happen to run over a civilian, you get penalized for that?
Absolutely. So we want the enforcers to be the good guys. So they have what they call prestige. And as you do the right things, that grows, which gives you better rewards, but also makes you more noticeable and makes it a more dangerous world for you. But as you run over civilians or, generally are too reckless, we actually penalize you and that goes down.
One of my favorite features that I know that you guys talked about and we got to see today is when you kill someone, you can play your own kind of like death music.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit about that.
So we have a bunch of different customization editors. Most of them are around visuals. We also have what we call our music studio. And in the music studio, you can make 5-second themes that you can attach to certain events. The primary event we're showcasing is the death event. So when you kill someone, it plays your theme for their death.
Right. So you can play, you can integrate with Last.fm as well, your own music.
So we also have music matching, which is a completely separate feature. And the idea there is you can import your own music library and play that through your car or through your own personal speaker or through your own personal boombox into the world. And if other people have that same music in their library, we use Last.fm to match that up so they hear your music as well without us having any licensing issues.
That's great stuff. And tell us, it's an online game. When's it set for release? When can people start looking at getting a beta, maybe?
So we're looking at beta in weeks, not months. So I would expect it to be within the next couple of months or even sooner. The game's released Q1 2010, so early next year.
Great stuff. EJ, the game's looking great. I can't wait to play some of it. That's APB. You can read more about it on GameSpot.com as well as our ongoing Gamescom coverage.
Let's do some business.